What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be getting my skid steer all cleaned up and ready to go. I'm going to be painting it here shortly. I have a 2004 Takeuchi TL 130. Let's go ahead and get it all pressure washed and cleaned up. More later if we need to. I'm not looking to make this paint job perfect, just make it look a little bit better than it does now. It is a 2004 machine with a replaced hour meter, so it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Let's go ahead and get it pulled into the shop. Alright guys, so this is where we're at. I've got all the stickers off, except for that one and a couple more. So I'm going to go over this a little bit with a wire wheel, not too much. I'm not looking for a perfect paint job. And then I'll start taping it off and foiling off using aluminum foil to cover up all the hydraulic hoses and taping everything off that I don't want paint on, and then get going on painting. What I do think I'm going to do is remove the back door and the hood, so then I can paint those separately. Okay, so it's a couple days later. I had to take some time off for work. So what I think I'm going to do is take off the hydraulic oil cooler and this fuel filter down here, and take off the hood, and then these LED lights here and the LED light bar up here, and then start taping everything off and getting it ready to go. I've went through and wire wheeled some of this a little bit more. I mean, there's still rust on it. I'll go back through and wire wheel it a little bit more. But what we ended up doing was I couldn't find the paint that I wanted, so I went to Home Depot and I got this protective enamel in smoke gray. So that's what I'm going to do, the whole thing in a smoke gray. If I decide later I want to do the cab black or something, then I'll do that. All this will be gray, so I won't have any more red. So I think it'll come out something like this color that's already on here. Let's go ahead and get started. So now that I'm looking at this, I can see that there's some rough spots in the cab right here and right here. It seems pretty solid around it. I think I'm just going to try to clean that up and fill it with some weld. All right, got those holes all filled up. All right, guys, so I went to go start taping everything off, and when I took a look in some of the areas like this, it was still pretty greasy. So I want to clean that more. Not that I want a perfect paint job, I just know that the paint's not going to stick to that. So I was using this degreaser, so I was just using this as a concentrate. So I sprayed a bunch of this all over the entire machine last night, and this morning I went and got a bunch of cans of this oven cleaner from the dollar store. This stuff works pretty good. It's cheap. It's only $1 for a can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a bunch of it in all the areas like this, all the way up. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to pull it back out of the shop, and I think I'm going to hook a hose up to my hot water heater and use the pressure washer and pressure wash it off, and then pull it back in, and then hopefully that'll get a majority of the grease off. Because right now, I mean, it's pretty clean, but it could be cleaner. So I figure if I just spend a little bit more time cleaning, especially up in areas like this that didn't really get that clean, I can get this all cleaned up just a little bit better, and the paint will stick a lot better. So let's go ahead and start spraying that on. That sit for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. All right, so it's been sitting for about an hour. Let's go ahead and get this thing backed out and pressure washed. good as it's gonna get. Let's get it in the shop. All right, so I have it back in the shop. I'm going to start taping it. I already started taping some of the stuff. I'm probably not going to record it just because it's so boring and tedious, but I'll get all this taped off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use aluminum foil for some of it just because it fits right around the flexible hydraulic lines, and then like stuff like this, I'll tape it just to make the line clean, and then we'll get it all sprayed. It's drying right now. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to dry. I'm going to put a fan on it just to help. And then hopefully we can get some paint on it today. All right, so we got this all foiled up, taped off, kind of blocked off the cab with a little plastic. I'll cover those, the joysticks and that stuff when I lift the cab and paint. But I have all the lines foiled. All right, let's get some paint mixed and finally get to painting.